All right, hello everyone. Today I want to do an ancestor message, so let's jump right in. I've been getting a lot of messages all day today, and I just want to be able to bring that information over to you guys. So let's see what wants to pour through with the guidance and love of our ancestors. Whoa. Wow. Okay, so we have Divine Feminine coming out immediately, Beauty, and then I Am Presence, Divine Masculine coming out, and Sacred Healing. So immediately I'm getting a strong message that there is a shift happening between the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. The Divine Masculine within us becoming more present, and the Divine Feminine within us being able to be in the feminine and to soften and create more beauty in the world. So it feels like this divine balancing happening between our inner divine masculine and feminine, and we will also be seeing this in the collective as well. So it's extremely powerful energy. We are right at the end of July, about to move into August, and I just feel all of this really potent energy coming to the surface. I think July has really asked us to surrender in a big way, and as we move into August, I'm getting all of this information starting to pour through, and a lot of anxiety and a lot of stuff coming up from underneath the surface, as well as this like strong acceleration into healing happening at the same time within us and externally. And I think this is definitely happening for people who would be watching these videos, for anyone on this spiritual path. I feel like we're really being asked to step into our leadership and our healing capabilities, to share our gifts and to collaborate with others and co-create with others. Healing the divide between all of us. As we move into this age of Aquarius energy too, a lot of what I'm picking up on is that we are shifting our perspective on love and how to connect with other people. And there is this opportunity right now to step into heart in a way that I don't think we've been asked to step up in the past. We are being guided to soften to love, to deepen our understanding of what love is, and being able to love one another from a place of nourishment rather than a lack mentality or this need to fulfill a void within ourselves. We're coming from a place of wholeness from within. That is the shift that's taking place, so that we can connect more authentically, not only with love interests, but with everyone in our lives, and allowing the connections that we have with others to unfold rather than forcing them into these boxes, right? So when we are able to step into that kind of energy and that kind of frequency, that is allowing for deeper connection, where once we may have found ourselves in separation or connections not playing out how we may want them to, And that leading to disconnection, where now I feel like we're stepping more into this energy of allowing people to be as they are and love them as they are and accept them as they are, and accepting connections for what they are instead of trying to force things or make them something they're not. And I think that takes a lot of self-understanding to be able to step in to basically a conscious way of connecting with other people. I think our society was really built on this idea of just unconsciousness in the way that we connect with other human beings. So yeah, not only in this that's what I'm specifically picking up with this divine feminine, masculine, sacred healing, stepping into presence and beauty. But that is what I'm seeing in my current reality too. And yeah, it's really interesting to think about a world where we are exchanging love. And I know I've already said this, but I feel the need to repeat myself in maybe a little bit of different words, but exchanging love from a place of knowing oneself and a place of nourishment, and being able to connect with others in ways that feel nourishing rather than codependent or from a place of scarcity or fear of losing someone or all of these things. So definitely just becoming more authentic. Yeah, super powerful energy already just with the oracle cards. So I'm trying to think of what else I want to do. I'm gonna pull, so this feels like it's becoming more of like a twin flame energy check-in and ancestor message all in one. So I'm gonna pull cards on what's coming up, which is the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So let's start with the divine feminine. We'll do 3 cards for past, present, and future, and 3 cards for past, present, and future for the divine masculine. And then I'll pull 3 cards on the I am present, sacred healing, and beauty, just to get some further information on kind of like the guidance on this very deep, internal, sacred, energetic shift that's happening here. So the feminine, the Hanged Man, the 7 of Pentacles, and too many. I just want one. Let's see what comes out. Let's see. Okay. What's this card flipped over? Oh, that's just the... Okay. So, the Hanged Man, the 7 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles. I get this sense that the feminine is in this place of, in the past, really detaching from old belief systems, and there's a sun on this skull that really popped out to me, and what came through with that was masculine energy. So I feel like the feminine is seeing the masculine much more clearly now, and seeing the ways in which the wounded masculine collective on this earth has been existing. Like, how do I explain this? So I feel like there is clarity around the illusions that we've created around the masculine, and specifically the wounded masculine present on the earth. And I think that clarity came and is coming from the divine feminine healing and stepping into light and stepping into their power. And I think the more the feminine wakes up, the more that these old belief systems are detached from. And the more that the feminine is able to see through these old belief systems and these old paradigms that the masculine has been stuck in, the more it allows light to be shed on the masculine energy on the planet, which is allowing the masculines on the planet to step into this more healed version of themselves. So I hope that makes sense, but it's like, you know, I've been seeing this in my own reality too, of like, there is just a lot of wounded energy on this planet when it comes to masculine energy. And in my own circle, like, I've seen, just through my own healing, I've started to see how much pain is carried in the masculine's energy. Like, just collectively speaking, in every masculine that I've come across, how much pain that, because of the way that society is structured, like, and this could be even thought about in terms of like patriarchal things like that is also not supporting the masculine. Like, the way that society has been set up and the way that people have been raised in this society has kept us in these really deep belief systems about what a man is, or what a masculine is, whatever you identify as, what that masculine energy should show up as or look like. And just, yeah. So just seeing through like all the pain and the suffering that has gone unspoken, and through that pain and suffering has caused the feminine energy to also be hurt and to be affected. And I just see this rise, like, as the feminine continues to rise, it is not only freeing the feminine, but it's also freeing the masculine. It's freeing them both and creating this equilibrium between the two, bringing us back into center, bringing us back into balance, where we are eradicating the power dynamics that are at play here. And, you know, a movie that really had a profound impact on me, and just showing me that duality between the masculine and the feminine. And, you know, you might think this is funny as I say it, but if you go back and watch it, it really was giving insight into that, into the unhealthy dynamics at play. But the movie Barbie, and I actually saw Barbie, I saw Hi Barbie on a car today, and I was just like, and now it's coming up in this reading. So basically that movie at the end, or throughout the whole movie, you see the different power dynamics at play, and how the feminine was making the masculine feel, and how the masculine ended up trying to take power back from Barbie and make her feel bad. And the illusion that takes over the feminine energy that feeds into that masculine toxicity. And as each feminine continues to reawaken in that film and take their power back from the patriarchal dynamics that were at play in that film, that leads to also releasing the masculine from the illusion that they ever needed that power to begin with. And you see at the end this rebalancing between the two, where they are able to acknowledge the ways they just both wanted to be free. So that is just like so powerful. And it makes me emotional, because the way that we have been taught to connect with others is so disconnected from just our natural essence. And it's really a journey to reawaken the balance within yourself and to heal not only for you, but for generations before us. And this is an ancestor message, and I think the ancestors are really trying to guide us into this deeper level of healing that we have never, that has been buried with the past, our history, our lineage, the strength that came from all of them, and all of the pain that they've carried. And yeah, just going back to the main message of what I said earlier is like learning to love each other more authentically, and not from a place of power, or not from a place of lack, or not from a place of needing to control. That love is unconditional and it liberates you. It frees you. True love frees you into stepping into the wholeness that you already are. And when we can step into our wholeness of who we already are, we can collaborate with others and connect with others on a deeper level. So, to continue the message for the feminine, in the present we have that Seven of Pentacles, yeah. So I feel like the feminine's just really been doing a lot of work on themselves at this time. Let's kind of dig a little bit more into that and just pull one more card here. Two came out and I asked for one, so I'm just going to shuffle again. The High Priestess. Yeah, so exactly what I was picking up on. The feminine, and we have on the bottom the Seven of Swords, but in this deck, there's a man sitting in a casket and it says hope and reflection. And I feel like that's exactly what the feminine has been leaning into, is really reflecting on their own patterns, their own sovereignty, and really looking at their roots, even if it's on an unconscious level. Some feminines could be doing this very consciously, and really taking time to rewrite their stories. To the High Priestess energy is the dark and the light, and the ability to transmute the darkness into light and transmute that pain into wisdom. So I feel like the feminine's really been hard at work at rewriting this story and stepping into a deeper sense of alignment. Collectively speaking, I've been seeing this across the board the whole year of the Divine Feminine rising. And then in the future we have this Ace of Pentacles. So that's really beautiful energy. I feel like, oh, excuse me, it's the Six of Pentacles. Excuse me. But it's funny that I said the Ace of Pentacles. I just get this sense of the feminine is stepping into like this new sense of abundance, this new sense of balance from within themselves. I was going to say wholeness, and six represents this like rebalancing to me, especially in this deck. So let's see if anything else comes out here for the future with that Six of Pentacles. Anything else, Spirit? The Page of Pentacles, yeah. Okay, so I feel like I'm getting this sense too that we really are supposed to just the Page of Pentacles. I feel like there's going to be new opportunities in the future. I feel like you're going to continue to move in a good direction, but I get this sense like we're not really supposed to be focused on the future. We're supposed to be staying in that present moment, and I think that's why no other cards really was feeling drawn to pop out in the way that they usually do. Yeah, this strong sense of needing to just focus on this moment and continue doing your work and continue moving forward and listening to your intuition. And that guidance will come as you continue on your path. Okay, let's pull on the Divine Masculine now. We're going to do past, present, future for the Divine Masculine, and then we will look at the guidance from the ancestors. The Hermit in reverse in the past. The Seven of Cups in the present and in the future. The Magician. Okay. Interesting. Justice on the bottom. I want to... Yep. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we have... I pulled one card on this Hermit in reverse. And we pulled the Six of Swords in reverse. So I get this sense that the masculine in the past could have gone through a major death and transformation, and there could have been some resistance to healing, but the healing was deeply needed, and it was like the masculine had to go to rest, whether they liked it or not, to sit with this light within them and to really understand themselves on a deeper level. And with that Six of Swords in reverse coming out on that overlaying this Hermit card, I feel like there's like a lot of energy from the past that needs to like be re-looked at, re-evaluated, sat with. And I do feel this like before they could move forward, they needed to really sit with all this energy. Now let's pull one more just because the Star card, yeah, healing. The healing card, and it literally fell out like that above both of them, and I just feel like that masculine energy just needed to deeply heal themselves. And you know, it's interesting that what I was saying earlier about the sun on the head and the detachment from these old belief systems, and then this gives me like a more feminine energy, and it also represents Aquarius, which I was talking about. We're moving into this like age of Aquarius energy more deeply, and we have that sun at the top above this feminine energy, and it gives me this sense of what I was just talking about, like the feminine shining the light, which is cracking open the masculines on the planet to help them heal and to help them remember their own power and their own ability to step into their sovereignty. Dang. And we have those lilies, and those are really sticking out to me, rising from the muddy water and becoming something new, something bright, something beautiful. Wow. Okay. So then we have the Seven of Cups in the present moment. So I feel the masculine could be in a time period of trying to understand what cups they need to put their energy into, and it almost feels like they're tending to their own garden right now with that heart at the top and all these like flowers and stuff. I just get the sense that they're almost like tending to their own garden. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. One more, Spirit. And the Temperance card, yeah. Two of Cups in reverse. So I get this sense that there could be like an unexpected turn of events, but ultimately this is all leading to this deepening of healing and self-nurturance and becoming more balanced within yourself and filling your own cup first. Yeah, I'm getting this like reversal sense with us being in this Mercury retrograde as well. And we're in a lot of like retrograde energy right now. We're about to have Chiron go retrograde in Aries tomorrow, which will take us into the rest of the year, through the rest of the year. And I just get this sense of this reversal energy forcing you to go really deep inward and learning how to fill your own cup. Yeah, so you can step into that powerful, and we have in the future, magician energy. So also, like, I notice here too, like sitting with that light and it's not yet inside you, and then almost like that energy manifesting to become like more part of you, more integrated. Yeah, the light is not outside of you, it's within you. And yeah, it just feels like this really powerful, and I think this is all happening to us internally within our masculine energy and our own feminine energy. Of like, there's this rebalancing within our own selves, and then that's reflecting outward into the external as well. Really potent stuff here. So let's pull one card on the I Am Presence. Yeah, Seven of Swords in reverse with that hope and reflection in the background. So I think we could have had a lot of pain in the past that forced us into reflection, that ultimately is helping us to cultivate more presence and hope by tending to the wounds of the past. Now let's pull one on this sacred healing energy. I asked for 1 and 2 came out, so I'm going to shuffle again. And then I'm going to pull some cards from my Starseed Oracle deck to close out the reading after we finish pulling these cards. Alright, focus. Sacred healing. Let's pull one card on that. See what the ancestors want to tell us. Five of Cups. Yeah. So, again, I think the ability to go deep within ourselves, all of this maybe mazes in our minds that we get trapped in at times. I feel this sense of like being really deep within our emotional bodies and being able to kind of unlock the key to this deeper sense of sacred peace from within. But I think it's through this facing everything that's trapped inside of our bodies and what needs to be healed. That is what that is the medicinal energy. That is the sacred healing. We also have medicinal drum, cosmos, and autumn. So, if you are on kind of this spiritual path and something like connecting with your ancestors more deeply, I'm just picking up on like maybe drum circles or just things like that to connect more deeply to the ancestors. Now let's pull one card on this beauty card. Whoa! Wow, did you see the way that popped out there? Strength on the bottom, and then we have the Sun card upright popped out for beauty. So, and this card says autumn on it as well. So I feel like the fall is really going to unravel this sacred, from now until the fall. And I mean, it's like ever continuous storyline, but I think we're really going to see a deep shift in the coming months between the masculine and feminine energy within us and within our relationships. Especially if you are on this path, and I would assume if you're on this path, that's why you're watching this reading. So, really potent and powerful stuff, y'all. Let's pull some Starseed Oracle cards. Okay. Okay. I'm going to pull 3 cards. Actually, I'm going to pull 4. I'm going to pull 1 for each of the... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to pull 5. 1 for each of the Ancestor cards that I pulled. Okay, that one fell out first. This one goes with the Divine Feminine Energy. The Seas of Mintaka. I've never pulled this card before. It says, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light, which is exactly what I was talking about with that High Priestess energy. The feminine energy is bringing unconsciousness to light. Within us all, regardless of gender. Starkeeper, Cosmic Ancestor. Seed the light by staying grounded. And that goes with I am presence. Cosmic Ancestor. Are you kidding me? Wait, I was also having another download while I pulled that card. But yeah, just understanding that even mentally, if we can grasp that there's this polarity between the masculine and the feminine within our own selves, if we can grasp that and start to heal and mend that relationship within our own selves, I just think the possibilities are endless. But yeah, so to go with the I Am Presence card, we got Starkeeper, Cosmic Ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded. So how parallel is that energy? Are you freaking kidding me? We're doing an Ancestor reading, and we pulled I Am Presence, and then the card to overlay that. And this I Am Presence card literally says Cosmos on it. And then this card literally says Cosmic Ancestor. Are you kidding? Anyways, and then talking about presence and see the light by staying grounded. So yeah, I think that's really important. And I myself struggle with that. It's like a constant surrender to ground ourselves, to nourish ourselves, feeding ourselves, taking care of ourselves, mentally, spiritually, physically. It's a lot of work, but when we can do that, we can open up more space within ourselves to seed the light. I remember. So the card Sacred Healing, the Medicine Drum card, and to overlay that, I remember Soul Plan, the Fated Life versus Destiny Life. So, Sacred Healing, I remember. That is so powerful. That is so powerful. I really feel that there is a deep awakening happening for the masculine and the feminine energies. All right, let's pull one for Beauty and then the Divine Masculine. Oh my goodness. I forgot to pull a tarot card for the Divine Masculine, so we'll go back and do that, but let's pull one for Beauty while we have this card in my hand, this deck in my hand. Beauty, you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness, face your true north. So yeah, I think stepping into our authentic selves and connecting from a place of nourishment with others is really going to allow us to connect on a deeper way and to not take like connections that maybe don't mesh well, like personally, if that makes sense. It's okay that not everyone gets along. I think that's normal and part of the human experience. but not holding like negativity around that or taking it personally, I think frees us and is a form of love. Letting people go, silence can be a form of love, especially like if a connection comes to its wit's end. You know, I have this belief that we make these soul contracts before we get here, and I still have so much love for people that I have no reason to connect to anymore, but I honor what those connections were and what they stood for. So with the Divine Masculine card, we have that Two of Cups in reverse. Interesting. So I feel like the Divine Masculine is really needing to come back into balance within themselves. And I feel like they're going through this like deep death and transformation. Let's pull one more card on the Divine Masculine. Yeah. The Five of Swords. So, and you see how it's a man and a woman? I feel like there is this like, I think the more that the feminine awakens, the more that it is rattling this masculine energy and causing them to have, to kind of break down and to see like the misalignment within themselves so that they can heal and mend and learn how to love themselves again so that they can love other people. All right, let's pull one card of the Starseed Oracle deck for the masculine. That was a lot, so we're gonna shuffle one more time. Well, until we get one card. Let's see. Let's see what wants to come out. Okay, that was two again. If two pop out again, I'll take them, but I'm asking for one, so I'd like it to be one. Okay, masculine, what's going on? That one didn't want to go back in, so I'm going to pull it. All paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. Yeah, so that is what I'm picking up for the masculine right now. I feel like they're really going deep within to mend the wounds of the past, mend the wounds of their heart that have been revealed to them. And look at that. I'm sorry on the bottom. And you see the two people looking back at themselves. So I feel like the masculine is going deep within their roots to heal from a very visceral level the divides within themselves so that they can step into deeper, like I said earlier, reverence and sovereignty, and deeper love for themselves so that they can come back into the world with other people with more love and more capacity and more self-assurance. Wow, so this was a really unexpected and beautiful reading. I was inspired to do this reading just by the events that I experienced in my day today. So the ancestors were calling and we answered, and I'm really glad that I did. I hope that this resonated for you. I'm going to link down below, if you're interested, the August astrology overview as we're starting August very shortly. And please feel free to like, subscribe, share. That really helps support me and the channel's growth, so it would be much appreciated. And if you'd like to do a private reading, in the description box below, I give intuitive readings, and I don't really, I want to say, if anyone's interested in doing some ancestral work or doing a reading from the ancestors, I'm so open to that, and I would love to do that. Not that the ancestors aren't called in for each reading, because they are, But if we want to tap more deeply into that energy, that is something that I really care a lot about. Yeah, and I feel very connected to specifically the maternal side of my family and my ancestral connection there. So yeah, anyways, have a great night. Thanks for being here. See you soon.